after evaluating the film, the team played a pretty efficient game on Saturday. Very proud of our defense. I thought we went out and set the tone early. Did a great job of, I think, limiting North Carolina State's rushing attack, which I think really helped us in controlling the pass, which made it more one-dimensional. We won the first down battle and the down and distance battle. You know, they played. We covered very well. Got good pressure. Did a great job once they got close to the red zone there a few times, and got 3 turnovers. That was a big thing. We were able to get 3 turnovers, which is huge. Was one of the things was our goals to improve on. I thought special teams wise, we did a really nice job of controlling Graham, who's an excellent player, very dynamic, very explosive. And then we did that in 2 ways. 1, by keeping great leverage and getting great coverage on our kicks, and 2, by getting great kicks, getting good hang time, getting balls placed very well, where we could strategically get the leverage, kick the ball well. Sean Powell had an outstanding day. Dustin had a good, solid day. In offense, I thought we played very well. In the beginning, I thought we exploded really well in the first half. The only disappointing thing in the whole day, really, when you get right down to it, even the running game was solid. It's just we missed 3rd and shorts. We missed 3 third and 2 or lesses, which cost us 3 possessions, which, you know, could be 10, 12 more plays, 14 more plays. They were able to keep running the ball, mixing them. Thought we threw it very efficiently, protected pretty well. I thought EJ was outstanding in the game, controlling the game and making his protection calls and understanding the blitz and going to the right guys. And he mixed the ball around a lot. Tight ends caught it, backs caught it, different receivers caught it. He was understanding where to go with the football, and his legs created some plays. And I thought we played a very solid game, and then we were able to finish at the end. And anytime you get a shutout in today's time, that's a very difficult thing, especially, NC State was averaging 31 points a game and 388 yards a game. So from that standpoint, I think us controlling it, moving it, keeps playing from ahead, which put pressure on them. And then I think we won the field position more by pinning them back a couple times on the kickoffs. And then they didn't score, and we were able to convert and do. But we're still improving. We're still getting better. Still got a lot of young guys learning situations and things that we have to improve on. But we have a very big challenge coming in on a quick turnaround, 5-day turnaround, which I think is one of the hardest things to do in sports, is to turn around and play a football game in 5 days. But they have to do it too. So that's the thing you have to do and get forget that one. And hope we can remember why we're having success and prepare well, just like we did the past 3 weeks. Questions?
The weather change in addition to a short schedule, do you have any concern about that at all?
Well, the weather's supposed to be pretty good. It's supposed to be a low of 47, a high of 57. It's supposed to be no precipitation, excuse me, as far as snow and things like that. So it should be a pretty nice evening to play ball, from what we understand.
What are some of the hardest things about those kind of quick turnarounds?
Well, I think one is processing. You're getting a routine, what you do the next day, how you unwind as a player, as a coach, to get it out. You know what I mean? And then start your preparation the next day, and then how quick, your mindset of getting to the game. But you're watching film, but really making those final decisions. A lot of times you're gathering information for a day, day and a half before you finalize your decisions. Now those decisions had to be made very quickly because we had to have a practice yesterday. And we worked ahead, of course, but, still processing, making sure you get the right decisions made. And then I think the body, just recovering from the physical standpoint and what your player goes through, and people don't realize how physical a game is on Saturday of getting back. And as a coach, how hard can you work them that quickly right after a game to make sure you don't minimize their ability to be fresh on Thursday and still be able to execute and do things. So I mean, from a player standpoint, a coach's standpoint, strategically how you got to do things, I think is very important. And then I think the mindset you take with it. A lot of it, I think, is from a mindset. This is what we're dealt, and then we have to go through it. They have to go through it, and you have to go play.
Coach, how was the mood of practice yesterday, considering it's usually a rest day?
Really good. I was shocked. I mean, guys understood, hey, this is the hand we're dealt. We're out there. They were sharp. Thought they were energetic. Thought they were really focused with a great attitude. From their eye control, you can really tell when you're talking to them, and they're really locked in and picking things up, and was very pleased from that standpoint.
Well, you said you got a big concern about 3rd and short and your inability to convert a few times the other day. And I know you're not going to give up what you're doing exactly, but are there some changes or options that you're looking at?
Well, you can, but you can move some people. But why would happen? The first one, we had it blocked. Got a guy blocked, and at the end, their guy just throws our guy off, throws one of our linemen off, and makes the play. We got the hole, and he physically whips him. The second one, we missed a block. Missed a block at tight end. We let penetrate with that pinch, and we knew they saw him. We let penetration come in the C gap, and we're going to slide that ball right in the B gap and make it, and we just missed a block. And then the third one, we have a nice option play, and all we got to do is stretch the ball to the sidelines, which is what we do, and all of a sudden we just make a poor decision, decide to stick it up in there, and don't make it. So I think it goes back to, if you change, why are you failing? You know what I'm saying? Where are the failures coming from? And it hadn't been. We've been converting until this game. We've been doing a really good job. And I think we're second in the league. We're about 48% on the year on third down, which is very good. Could have really probably went up over 50 if we hit those third and shorts. But when we evaluated why we didn't make them, you know, and then you got to move on from there. You could make some little changes in what we do, and again, each game you make little changes depending on what you think the other team's weakness is. But execution there would have been a little bit better.
Did it stick out a little more though, just because you played so well throughout most of the
Well,
game?
it did, because that was the one thing that, and you had some chances to really just eat the clock and move, and I mean, and you don't say that they stopped you. Don't get me wrong, but you know, you could convert those, which you usually do, and then you're talking about, you know, you're scoring 50 points and putting up a lot of yards and really controlling the football game.
You punted a few times on 4th and short, played kind of conservative. Was that because your defense was playing?
Well, why? You know, you're up 24 points. That's 3 scores and 3 2-point conversions. All right, it's almost 4 scores, which, you know, 3 is a magical number. You get to 4, you're in great shape, Jimmy. And why give them momentum with you know, they had the ability to have big plays, have a quarterback who can throw the football. Your defense is playing great. You got a great kicking game. They haven't been able to drive the ball all day. Why would you want to try and go for a 4th? Because you're frustrated on offense, but it's not an offensive game. It's a team game. What is the best thing for the team? And you pin them, and you're pinning them down there inside the 20-yard line, and then we know we're holding them. They'll give up 166 yards on the day. You know that. Now, if that was a scoring match, where they're going back and forth and they're moving the ball and scoring as much as you do, then you probably go for those 4th downs. I mean, I think the game dictates how you got to play that, and our defense is playing very well. We were kicking the ball very well, and knowing you were probably going to get it back in good field position again to be able to convert points. So, and those things there, I think frustration is something, you know, when you're the head coach, you got to be careful when you're calling the plays, not to get frustrated as the offensive coach. And remember, you're there to win the game for the team, and that's the way momentum swings can happen and turn games around.
Jimbo, was Rashad able to practice?
Yes, he did.
Oh.
Very shockingly. We weren't ready for him to do as much as he did yesterday, and he went out and did a lot more than we thought. Some of that soreness working out, that Achilles, and he bounced around, and that's by far, even last day, by far the best he's looked so far. So that would be a great addition to come back.
Looking back on the tape, were there really any missed tackles? It looked like the defense did a great job of wrapping up, especially on the edges. Again,
we kept great leverage upside. We're playing more discipline. Again, we're making smart plays, not trying to make big plays. I'm trying to think. There were 1 or 2, but there weren't many missed tackles. Now you say that. There were not many missed tackles. We tackled well in space, and we tackled well in the box and kept good leverage. There were not many missed tackles at all.
Jimbo, coming in, did you think the defense, into the season, the defensive line could be this good?
Yes.
So, I mean, how good is it? Let's throw that.
I mean, you have the ability. You have size, you have speed, you have power, you have athleticism, and now you've got some experience. I mean, you got big guys in there, and yes, I mean that's why they were recruiting. I don't mean it. I mean those guys up there. There's some guys up there going to make some money. There's some guys up there got a chance to make money and have a career and keep playing well. But yes, I did. I mean, I thought we had a chance to be very good up front. I really did. And with some depth.
And talk about Tank a little bit. He's made plays in each game.
Tank Carradine, getting better and better. I mean, that, you know, as junior college guys get the flow of things, and how, you know, usually when you come out of junior college, you're the best player and you're running around making all kind of plays. Then you're asked to make plays, but also stay disciplined in what you're doing. He's learning to be in a team concept and how he's doing things. He buys in 100%, and he's getting stronger, and just his knowledge of what goes on every day is getting better. So he's improving and doing a great job. Ant McLeod's doing a super job inside. Jernigan's doing a really good job inside. Everett Dawkins, deflecting balls, doing a good job inside. Cam Irving, those 4 guys, and of course Brandon, Dan, and of course Bjorn. So I mean, you got a good solid group.
But they all come back, right?
Yes, it was a good thing.
Jimbo, on the JUCO guys on the other side of the ball, Jacob seems to do, at least from our perspective, a lot better than he was early in the season.
Much better.
What is he doing?
I think just getting comfortable, assignments, and you know where he's going. You know what I'm saying? And his technique's getting better because he understands where he's going better and how he's trying to get there. So it's just like, you know, I always say this and it's a perfect example. When you first move somewhere and you try to get home, sometimes people think you can't drive because you walk around, you drive around looking for streets and where you're going. And as you get used to that routine of where you're going and how you're getting there, you get better and your technique gets better, and then your ability starts to come out more. You know what I'm saying? And I think just from knowledge of what we're doing and his ability to understand what we're doing better.
Has that been the area of the most improvement, your offensive line, say from the 3-game loss streak till now?
Yeah, getting consistently there. I think the backs are doing a better job. And I even think EJ's ability to get us in and out of the right things and do the right things, and, you know, he keeps growing every week. Yeah. And defensively, I think we're playing much sounder up front. We're keeping better leverage, and we're not rat trapping and trying to go make big sacks and big plays, and we're just playing the defense. And then the plays are naturally happening.
What is it about EJ the last few weeks where he's been able to find so many different receivers and mix up?
He was doing it beforehand.
Yeah.
He's got hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, he was doing it beforehand. He was growing into it. I mean, you know, he had started many games. He played a great first game, played a great second game. Was playing a very good Oklahoma game. Mistakes in the Oklahoma game did not have a lot to do with him. And he was moving the ball, doing very well, and was playing very well then, and just got hurt. And in the Wake game, when he came in the second half, I mean, he came in after a couple weeks layoff. He had a couple of little mistakes, but he played. He had about 300 yards and a half of ball there. And I just think he's understanding the game. I mean, as you start to understand, it starts to slow down just a little bit. So your decision making and your ability, and again, your abilities start to really blossom.
Jimbo, this receiving core, you got like 7 guys with more than 10 catches, wide receivers. What does that do for you to have that kind of that position?
Well, it's great because of depth. And the one thing has, all these injuries that have happened, it's let our depth come up. You know, and as we keep getting, you know, and then our tight ends, Bo's starting to play better. Nick's doing a really good job. He's learned to block better. He's becoming a receiver in the game. You know, he had a nice big catch the other day. We've gone to him 2 or 3 other times that once it didn't get open, a couple times the other guys got open on some big plays. So having those abilities, now the backs are starting to catch balls. So I mean, that developing that. But you know, when you have a number of receivers, because injuries are happening for us right now, that's a thing that happens a lot. And those guys are taking time and they're taking advantage of their opportunities.
Dawsey kind of took a lot of heat earlier when you guys first got here, just about that group's production, but
they weren't playing.
Yeah.
They weren't playing very good, and these guys are playing better. I think the knowledge of what they're doing and being more attentive to detail, and you know, and I think some of the guys on the team are holding their feet to the fire a little bit, making those guys, you know, that's a position. If you ever go look in the NFL, where's your biggest characters at?
Receivers, all of them.
Huh?
Always receivers.
It is. I mean, it goes with the position. So part of that is a discipline thing. A lot of times it'll be DBs occasionally. Sometimes it's D-line. I don't know why. That's just where a lot of that is. You know what I mean? So you have a lot of ability, and what happens, sometimes you come to these levels and you have tons of ability, and you've never had to be a decisive or a precision guy. Now, as you get older and you go up in levels of ball, the talent levels equal out. Now it's the guys who can be technicians with that ability that move on. And I think they're developing into their technique, and the fine little things they're doing is getting better and better.
Coach, following up on that, is there such thing as being too deep in a position? I mean, you got trouble making these guys happy with 7 or 8 of them healthy?
They play. We play them all. They're all catching balls. I mean, they're fine.
The touchdown Kenny Shaw had right before the half is kind of a similar route to the one he got hurt on Oklahoma. Just talk about how he's been able to kind of put that.
And that should have been a walk-in. If the other receiver hadn't ran the route wrong, there wouldn't have been nobody around him. That's why he even got hit. Because the backside guy brought the safety and the linebacker in when he's supposed to be outside the safety on the other side 20 yards. There wouldn't have been nobody around him. So that's the thing you have. When you have missed assignments at this level, people don't recognize that's how guys get hurt, doing things like that. But it was a good job of him going back inside and go. You can't worry about that. If every time you ever got hit in football, you got scared the next time you're on the field, you need to quit. You need to go home. Because guess what? You're going to get hit again. He's going to get hit again. You can't worry about that. If that's in your mind, quit. Play and move on. Because that's the nature of the game. It's like boxing. Saying I got hit and I got punched. Well, I don't go back, I want to box, but I don't want to get punched. I want to play football, I don't want to get hit. I mean, that's the nature of the beast. And if you're going to be scared and hesitant, you can't play. And I don't mean that as it's not a tough thing. That's a fact of life. You can't even think about that. That can't even cross your mind. Now, it does naturally until you have 1 or 2 that you'll get it and you'll get hit and then you'll forget about it. But the bigger deal we make of it, the worse it gets. And, you know, I think it hurts. You just got to go play. You cannot worry about getting hit. I mean, you just got to play the game and let the chips fall where they may.
with the 5-day deal, so is today a hard-hitting day, or?
Today will be more like a Tuesday day. Today's going to be tough on them after recovery day because you still got to get that development, and BC does a lot of different things. Constant fire zones and blitzes and especially on defense. I mean, they're a constant pressure, different look every play. That's one of the things they've done a great job of. And over the years, people didn't realize this going in this year. I think if you look it up, I don't know, it's the last 7, 8, 9, 10, something like that. BC's defense is in the top 7 in the country over about last 8, 9, 10-year period. If you look it up statistically. And they do a great job defensively, and always have.
Can you talk about
They do.
Keekly?
Who?
Keekly, their linebacker. What makes
Oh,
him
yeah,
so
I
good?
could have said, yeah, he makes, just very instinctive, like most linebackers. I always say this, running backs and linebackers are easy to recruit. When you hand him the ball and you're watching, if you got to tell him where to run and what's going on, he ain't a tailback. If he's playing linebacker and he's standing around the pile, he's not a linebacker. If he's in the bottom of the pile, he's a linebacker. You're either making tackles or you don't. That's such an instinctive position. And he understands his keys. He trains his eyes. He's very disciplined. Plays the run, plays the pass, understands what's going on his defense with your blocking schemes, how to free himself up and get leverage. I mean, just a very instinctive, just a natural football player. Productive, well, I mean, just very productive.
You comment on Terrence Brooks. We're seeing him more and more get out there. He seems to be making plays.
A bunch of them. Terrence going to be a really good player. In our dime package and things in there, can play nickel. Terrence got the ability to be a safety or a corner. I'll say he's strong, he's physical, he's instinctive, plays hard, tackles well, plays the ball well. We've been extremely pleased with his development, especially the last 3 or 4 weeks. And we're playing a lot more dime and stuff, and he's producing. I mean, tackles in space, tackles in the crowd, being physical, playing the ball. I mean, just being a really good football player. Love him, really do.
Jimbo, BC's finally won a ball game Saturday.
Mhm.
What do you see in terms of how they're improving, perhaps?
Well, I mean, you lose a rusher who was going to break probably the ACC record, and all they do is put a guy out there and run for 243 yards this week. I mean, you know, France does a great job. I mean, they can always run the football. Linemen are very well coached, run the ball well. Quarterbacks sound, can throw it. Big receivers, not just blazing speed, but very athletic, great hands. Do a great job that way. Can get open body control, a lot of size. Defensively, they make you beat them on defense. I mean, they're sound. They do not get out of position. You have to execute. They're not going to beat themselves. Constant fire zones, constant blitzes, constant movements up front, different looks all the time. And the special teams very well coached and sound. Frank does a great job. And, you know, it's just, they've had a couple tough games. I mean, they had a couple games that went down. I mean, Duke and them went down the end. Duke, you know, scored late and had a chance. They had a chance to have Wake Forest. It was 24-19, 5.5 minutes to go, and they had brought the game back. Had Wake 3rd and 15 on their own 15, and Wake hit a deep go route to get them out there and down, kick a field goal and eat the clock up. Or they're going to come back and beat Wake. I mean, and play them very well. They played what was it, Mass? Virginia Tech. They're up 7-3 at halftime on Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech got a couple scores late, and it was 13-7 all the way almost to the third quarter. So, I mean, this team is a very good football team. They just had a couple bad breaks and haven't got over the hump.
That one loss record is a little misleading.
Very dim. I mean, played some great games. You watch that film, the film doesn't relate to the record.
Coach, we know you're not a huge fan of the Thursday night thing in general, but is there a way it can be done that would make you a little happier, make it easier on your players?
Well, I mean, everybody's got to do it. I just hate the 5-day turnaround. I think it's very tough. But they got to do it, and everybody does it. And it's part of it. It's no big deal. I mean, and because academically, I think it stresses you, and I think physically it stresses you when you're on a 5-day turnaround. Now, you do the 11-day, you have the week off, but that's something we do, and that's ESPN, and that's what we're going to do.
Is the exposure worth the trade-off there?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you get exposure is great. I mean, you're not going to, can't say that, but it's still tough. And just, everybody's got exposure now. I mean, it's exposure galore. I mean, everybody, who isn't on TV?
Jimbo, with the 5-day turnaround, I mean, do you feel like, or have you ever been around a team that's come out and really played sharp? I mean, it seems like...
Yeah, you can, yeah. I mean, it all depends on each team's attitude and each team's demeanor and where it goes in. I mean, I'm not saying it's tough. I'm not saying you can't be done and you can't go play well. And again, they're on the same thing you are. They're not like off 11-day deal. They're on a 5-day deal too, and they actually played later in the day and had a tough game and had to travel back. And so, I mean, it's not like, we better go play well. We need to play well. And we got to understand how to do it. We got to prepare to do that. And that's the hand you're dealt. I don't mean it that way. I just say I'd prefer not to, but that's, everybody does it. I think the pros, they do it on Sunday and turn around and play on Thanksgiving Day. So we can eat turkey and watch a game. That's on a 4-day.
Well, but do you think it's obviously more difficult, I would imagine, to
there's
have
no
your
doubt.
team play, be more sharp and be...
It can be. But sometimes you say that, but then sometimes you quit game planning and you stay simple because you ain't got a lot of time. Then you figure out maybe some of your guruism it screws them up. That sometimes they get out there and play. They don't worry about it. So if we all had a crystal ball and could guarantee every time we're going to play well every Saturday.
Could you talk
Two more questions.
Could you talk more about the process, though? You guys were actually looking at BC. Some of your staff were looking at BC last week.
Oh yeah, we had to look at the end of the week. We'd already had them broken down. Did some in the off week, just to see if they'd changed or come back around. And then yesterday we had had a little practice today. We will. Tomorrow will be like a Wednesday, Thursday combined, and then we'll be out here on Wednesday.
Anything else?
And Coach, your comment maybe Jermaine went over 100 yards receiving and rushing in Saturday's game, and of course he hasn't played a lot going into the middle of the season. I mean, does he look like he's ready for a real strong finish?
I hope so. I hope so. He actually in that game he had a catch. We told him he missed a couple cuts. He could have had he missed a cut on a power and something else. He had a chance to break one for about 50. He missed a cut, and we talked about it yesterday. And then on the option of getting outside on that, he had a couple chances to really get maybe pick up another 50, 70 yards on a couple cuts. He just got a little anxious on, but he's playing better. He's doing well. Pass blocked pretty well in the game. Caught a couple balls. Hopefully he'll continue to grow. We need him to, that's for sure. Caught a nice screen. Caught a little angle route inside. So had a nice day. Getting better and better. It's great to have him back.